She was just supposed to be his fake girlfriend for one night. But when he offered her $50,000 to continue the lie, everything changed. What happens when a marriage of convenience becomes inconveniently real? Stay until the end. You won't believe how one single question destroys everything they've built. The crystal glass shattered against the marble floor of Damien Cole's penthouse. He didn't flinch, just stared at the mess like it was another problem to solve. "Mr. Cole, are you all right?" Damien turned to find his housekeeper. What was her name again? River. River Santos. She'd worked for him for 4 months, always appearing exactly when needed, then vanishing like smoke. "I'm fine." He wasn't. His grandfather's will had just been read. $5 billion, contingent on one impossible condition: marriage within 6 months, or everything goes to his cousin Derek. River knelt to pick up the glass shards, her dark hair falling forward. "You don't look fine." "How would you know? You barely speak to me." She looked up, brown eyes direct. "That's because you barely speak to anyone, sir. You just bark orders and disappear into your office." He should fire her for that. Instead, he laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. "Fair point." River stood, glass carefully wrapped in a towel. "What happened?" "Nothing that concerns you." She shrugged. "Suit yourself." Started walking away. "Wait." The word escaped before he could stop it. She turned. "Do you have plans tonight?" "Why?" "Because I need a wife, and you're the only woman under 60 I've spoken to this week." River froze. "Excuse me." Damien ran his hand through his dark hair, disheveling the perfect corporate style. "My grandfather's will. I have to be married in 6 months, or I lose everything to my sociopathic cousin, who'll destroy the company and fire 3,000 people. So get married." "To whom?" "Every woman in my circle wants my money. I can't trust anyone." River set down the glass. "And you trust me?" "No. But you don't know enough about my world to scam me effectively. And you're already on my payroll." He met her eyes. "I'll pay you $50,000 to pretend to be my girlfriend for 6 months. Then we get married, on paper only. After a year, we divorce. You get another 100,000, and we both walk away." Silence. "That's insane," River whispered. "That's business. I don't even know you." "Good. Keep it that way. This is a transaction, Miss Santos. Nothing more." River's mind raced. $150,000 total. That would pay off her mother's medical debts, her brother's tuition, and give her enough to finally open the bakery she dreamed about. "Why me?" she asked quietly. "Because you don't look at me like I'm a bank account. You look at me like I'm an annoyance you have to tolerate. That's refreshing." Despite herself, River smiled. "You are an annoyance. Is that a yes?" She took a breath. "One condition. We tell no one the truth. Not your family, not mine. If we're doing this, we commit to the lie completely." Damien extended his hand. "Deal." Their hands met. River felt electricity shoot up her arm. She ignored it. This was just business. Nothing more. 3 days later, River stood in Damien's walk-in closet, bigger than her entire apartment, staring at designer dresses worth more than her yearly salary. "Pick one," Damien said from the doorway. "For what?" "Dinner with my family tonight. They want to meet the woman who's finally tamed me." His voice dripped sarcasm. River pulled out a midnight blue dress. "This one. Good choice. My driver will bring you at 7. "Wait, what do I tell them?" "About us." Damien stepped closer. Too close. River's breath caught. "Tell them we met when you brought coffee to one of my meetings. I was rude. You called me out. I was intrigued. We started talking. Simple. Believable. And if they ask about feelings?" His jaw tightened. "Act like you're falling for me. Smile. Touch my arm. Laugh at my jokes even though I'm not funny. What if I can't? Then we both lose everything." He turned to leave, then paused. "River, don't actually fall for me. I'm not capable of that." The door closed behind him. River stared at her reflection in the mirror, dress clutched to her chest. What have I gotten myself into? Drop a comment if you think this is going to end badly. And subscribe. This story gets wild. The Cole family mansion made Damien's penthouse look modest. River's heels clicked on marble as a butler led her to the dining room where voices echoed. Finally bringing someone home. I don't believe it. Mother, please. That was Damien's voice, strained. River entered. The room fell silent. Damien's mother, Victoria Cole, was elegant and sharp-eyed. His sister, Sienna, looked friendly but curious. And his cousin Derek lounged in a chair like he owned the place, smirking. Everyone, this is River Santos. Damien's hand found the small of her back, warm through the thin dress fabric. River, my family. Pleasure, Victoria said, though her eyes calculated River's worth in seconds. How did you two meet? River smiled, remembering the script. I brought coffee to one of his meetings. He was abrupt. Sienna laughed. That's Damien. I told him he was being rude. River continued. He looked shocked. I think no one had called him out before. She told me I had the personality of a tax audit. Damien added dryly. The room erupted in laughter. Even Derek's smirk faltered. But Victoria wasn't laughing. And you fell for him after that? River met Damien's eyes. Something passed between them, a reminder of the stakes. She reached for his hand. He apologized later. Sent flowers. We started talking, and I found someone different underneath all that corporate armor. How sweet, Derek drawled. And convenient, just months after grandfather's will was read. Tension crackled. Derek, Victoria warned. I'm just saying, it's interesting timing. Damien's hand tightened around River's. Are you suggesting? I'm suggesting nothing. Derek smiled like a shark. Just observing. After all, we barely know anything about Miss Santos. Where are you from, dear? What do you do? River felt the trap closing. I'm from Austin. I work in hospitality management. How vague. Which hotel? Derek, enough. Sienna cut in. Stop interrogating her like she's on trial. But the seed of doubt was planted. River saw it in Victoria's eyes. Dinner was excruciating. Every question felt like a test. Every answer scrutinized. When they finally escaped to Damien's car, River exhaled shakily. That was a disaster, Damien finished. Derek's going to investigate you. What? Why? Because if he can prove our relationship is fake, he gets everything. We need to be more convincing. How much more convincing? Damien pulled the car over, turning to face her. We need to move in together. Tomorrow. If Derek's watching, we need to look like a real couple. River's heart pounded. That wasn't part of the deal. The deal just changed. Unless you want to walk away now. And lose the money? You know I can't. Then pack your things. You're moving into the penthouse. River stared at him, seeing no warmth, no compassion, just cold calculation. This was going to be so much harder than she thought. River just agreed to live with a stranger. But wait until you see what Damien's hiding in that penthouse. River's entire life fit into 3 suitcases. Pathetic, she thought, watching movers carry them into Damien's massive penthouse. Your room is down the hall, Damien said, not looking up from his laptop. 3rd door on the left. Not the master bedroom. We're not actually together, Miss Santos. Let's maintain some boundaries. It's River, and if Derek's watching. The windows are tinted. No one can see in. Keep your room neat in case of surprise visits. River grabbed her suitcase. You know, for someone who needs me, you're remarkably rude. I don't need you. I need what you represent. Right, the convenient fake girlfriend. River's voice shook with anger. Well, here's a tip. Real girlfriends don't appreciate being treated like employees. She stormed to her room, slamming the door. Damien stared after her, something uncomfortable twisting in his chest. He ignored it. Emotions were liabilities. That night, River couldn't sleep. The bed was too big, too soft. Everything smelled expensive and foreign. Around midnight, she gave up and wandered to the kitchen for water. The lights were already on. Damien sat at the island, tie loosened, sleeves rolled up, nursing whiskey. Can't sleep either? River asked quietly. He looked up, startled. I don't sleep much. Why not? Insomnia. Had it since I was 12. River poured water, leaning against the counter. What happened when you were 12? My father died. Heart attack. Left my mother with 3 kids and a company about to go bankrupt. I watched her work herself to exhaustion to save it. Silence hung between them. I'm sorry, River said softly. Don't be. It taught me that emotions are weaknesses. Attachment is vulnerability. Better to keep everything transactional. Is that why you've never been in love? Damien's laugh was hollow. Love is a chemical reaction people mistake for something meaningful. I prefer logic. River set down her glass. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. It's practical. It's lonely. Their eyes met. For a moment, Damien saw past her role, saw a woman who'd also learned to guard her heart, probably for different reasons. Why did you agree to this? He asked. The real reason. River hesitated. My mother has stage 3 cancer. The treatments are expensive. My younger brother wants to go to college, but we can't afford it. I've been working 3 jobs just to keep us afloat. Your offer was the lifeline. So we're both doing this out of necessity. Seems like it. Damien poured another whiskey, then surprised himself by pouring one for River too. To necessary arrangements. She clinked her glass against his. To surviving them. They drank in companionable silence. Maybe this wouldn't be so terrible after all. Comment which team you're on. Team, they'll fall in love. Or team, this will end in disaster. And hit that like button. 2 weeks into their arrangement, routine developed. Damien left for work at 6 a.m. River had the penthouse to herself until evening. They'd have dinner together, part of maintaining the illusion, then retreat to separate rooms. It was working. Until it wasn't. River was in the kitchen baking, her stress relief, when Damien came home early. He stopped in the doorway, staring. What are you doing? Making bread. Is that allowed? Or should I add it to the contract? He ignored the sarcasm. It smells incredible. Want some? Damien meant to say no. Instead, he found himself sitting at the counter while River sliced warm bread, spreading butter that melted instantly. He took a bite and nearly groaned. This is amazing. River smiled, genuinely smiled. My grandmother's recipe. I used to help her every Sunday. You should open a bakery. That's the plan. After this, after we're done. The reminder stung more than it should. They ate in silence, but it felt different. Comfortable. Almost real. Tell me about your family, Damien said suddenly. Why? Because Derek will ask. I should know details. River studied him, sensing truth beneath the excuse. My mom immigrated from the Philippines when she was 20. Met my dad. Had me and my brother Marcus. Dad left when I was 10. Mom worked 2 jobs to raise us. She's the strongest person I know. That's where you get it. Get what? Your strength. The way you don't back down. River felt heat creep up her neck. I'm not that strong. I'm terrified most of the time. That's what makes you strong. Being terrified and doing it anyway. Their eyes locked. Something shifted in the air between them. Damien stood abruptly. I have work. He disappeared into his office, leaving River alone with her racing heart. The charity gala was exactly as terrible as River expected. Designer gowns, fake smiles, conversations about stock portfolios and summer homes. Damien's hand stayed at her waist all evening, part of the performance. But his touch felt less mechanical now. More aware. There's Derek, Damien murmured. Incoming. Derek approached with a blonde woman on his arm. Cousin. Still together, I see. How delightfully unexpected. Derek. Jennifer. Damien's voice was ice. We were just telling everyone about our engagement. Derek flashed a massive diamond ring. Figured I should cover my bases too. Just in case. Translation. I'm hedging my bets for the inheritance. Congratulations, River said sweetly. When's the wedding? Oh, we're thinking small. Intimate. Not like the spectacle you two will probably stage. Derek's eyes glittered with malice. Tell me, River, do you love my cousin? The room suddenly felt smaller. People nearby went quiet, listening. River's mind raced. This was the moment. The test. She turned to Damien, heart pounding. Ah! Damien kissed her. It wasn't gentle. It was claiming, desperate, real. His hand cupped her face, thumb brushing her cheek. River's gasp turned into something else as she melted into him, her hands fisting in his tuxedo jacket. For a moment, everything disappeared. The gala, Derek, the pretense. There was only Damien's mouth on hers, his heart racing against her palm. The way he held her like she was precious. When they broke apart, both were breathing hard. Does that answer your question? Damien asked Derek, not looking away from River. Derek's smirk finally cracked. Quite. As he walked away, River touched her lips, still tingling. Damien. It was for show, he said quickly, voice rough. Nothing more. But his hand was shaking. That kiss changed everything. Watch what happens when they can't keep pretending anymore. They rode home in silence. The city lights blurred past the car windows as tension thrummed between them. Finally, River spoke. We should talk about. There's nothing to talk about, Damien interrupted. It was necessary. Derek was suspicious. I handled it. You kissed me. And you kissed back. River's cheeks burned. I was playing my role. Exactly. We both were. Let's leave it at that. But when they reached the penthouse, neither moved to get out. The driver waited patiently. Damien, River said softly. I know this is fake, but that kiss felt. Don't. His voice cracked. Please don't make this complicated. Why not? He finally looked at her, and River saw something raw in his eyes. Fear. Because I can't give you what you want. I don't know how to be the man you deserve. This arrangement has an expiration date. If we forget that, someone gets hurt. And you think that someone is me? I know it is. Because despite my best efforts, I'm starting to care about you. And that terrifies me more than losing $5 billion. River's breath caught. Damien. Good night, River. He got out of the car, leaving her sitting there, heart in pieces. Who's feeling emotional right now? Comment Damien if you think he's protecting her, or coward if he's just scared. Like and subscribe. After the kiss, everything changed. Damien worked later, came home less. River threw herself into baking, filling the penthouse with bread and pastries she'd deliver to homeless shelters. They were avoiding each other, and everyone noticed. Are you two fighting? Sienna asked when she dropped by unannounced. No, River lied. Just busy. Maya wasn't convinced. Look, I don't know what my brother said, but he's an idiot about emotions. Always has been. After Dad died, he just shut down. Decided feelings were dangerous. That's not my problem to fix. Maybe not, but I see how he looks at you. Like you're the first real thing in his life. River's throat tightened. He doesn't want real. He doesn't know what he wants. But I know my brother's happier now than he's been in years. Don't give up on him yet. That night, River made a decision. She found Damien in his office, buried in paperwork. We need to talk. He didn't look up. I'm busy. I don't care. River closed his laptop. We're 6 weeks into this arrangement. We have 4.5 months left. Either we actually try to make this work, as friends at least, or I'm out. That got his attention. You'd walk away from the money? I'd walk away from being treated like furniture. You want me to play your girlfriend in public? Fine. But in private, you're going to treat me like a human being with feelings. River. I'm not finished. That kiss. It meant something to me. Maybe it didn't to you, but I'm not going to apologize for having emotions. If you can't handle that, find someone else. Silence stretched between them. Then Damien did something unexpected. He laughed. You really are fearless. I'm terrified, but I'm also tired of tiptoeing around you. He stood, coming around the desk. You're right. I've been a coward. And an ass. Yes, you have. I'm not good at this. At letting people in. I noticed. Damien smiled, really smiled. Friends. River extended her hand. Friends. Their handshake lingered too long. Both noticed. Neither mentioned it. But something had shifted. The next few weeks were different. Damien started coming home for dinner. They'd cook together, well, River cooked while Damien did prep work with surprising competence. "You're not completely useless in the kitchen," River teased. "My mother made sure we all knew basic skills. Maya's terrible at it, though." They'd eat and talk about their days. River learned about Damien's work, the pressure, the constant battles with the board. Damien learned about River's dreams, the bakery she wanted, flavored with her grandmother's recipes. "Show me," he said one evening. "Show you what?" "Your business plan. For the bakery." River hesitated, then retrieved her worn notebook. Inside were sketches, recipes, financial projections done in painstaking detail. Damien studied it for a long time. "This is brilliant. Professional-level planning." "Really, River, you could get investors for this. The concept is solid, the numbers work. Why haven't you pursued it?" "Because I'm nobody. No connections, no business degree, just a dream." "That's not true. You're smart, hard-working, and talented. You don't need a degree. You need belief in yourself." River felt tears prick her eyes. "Thank you." Their eyes met across the table. The moment stretched, charged with possibility. Damien's phone buzzed, shattering it. He checked the message and frowned. "What's wrong?" "Derek's getting married next month. My mother wants us to attend together. As a couple." "Of course she does." River sighed. "Guess we'd better practice being convincing." "We're already convincing," Damien said quietly. "That's the problem." Derek's wedding was ostentatious. Ice sculptures, champagne fountains, a live orchestra. Everything designed to intimidate. River wore a gold dress that made Damien's breath catch. "You look stunning. You don't look so bad yourself." They walked in together, and River felt the stares. Heard the whispers. "That's Cole's girlfriend. The housekeeper. Gold digger. She won't last." Her spine stiffened. Damien must have felt it because his hand tightened on hers. "Ignore them," he murmured. "You're worth 100 of them." Victoria appeared, elegant and assessing. "River, dear, you look lovely." "Thank you, Mrs. Cole." "Please, call me Victoria. After all, if you and Damien are serious—" She let the sentence hang, meaningful. Damien stepped in smoothly. "We are. Very serious. Wonderful. Then I hope to be planning another wedding soon." After she left, River exhaled shakily. "She's testing us. She tests everyone. Don't worry, you passed." But during the ceremony, watching Derek and Jennifer exchange vows that probably meant nothing, River felt something twist inside her. What would it be like if this were real? If Damien actually loved her? She glanced at him, found him already watching her, expression unreadable. The reception was torture. Endless small talk, fake congratulations, Derek's smug face everywhere. Finally, River escaped to the garden, needing air. The string lights and night flowers offered sanctuary. Running away? She turned. Damien stood in the doorway, silhouetted against the party lights. Just needed a break from the performance. He joined her, hands in his pockets. "I hate these things. All pretense and posturing. Funny, coming from someone living a lie. Is it a lie?" The question hung between them. River's heart raced. "What are you asking?" Damien turned to face her fully. "I'm asking if I'm the only one feeling this. If I'm alone in wanting this arrangement to be something more." "Damien, I know the rules. I set them. But somewhere between that first dinner and tonight, everything changed. I changed. And I think you did too." River felt tears building. "We can't. The contract." "Forget the contract. I'm asking what you feel, not what you're paid to feel. What's real, River?" The world held its breath. "You want to know what's real?" River's voice shook. "I wake up thinking about you. I bake your favorite bread even though you never asked. I listen for your footsteps at night. And when you smile, really smile, I forget this is supposed to be temporary." Damien's breath hitched. "River. But I'm also terrified. Because in 4 months, this ends. You get your inheritance, I get my money, and we both walk away. And I don't know if I can do that anymore." He stepped closer, cupping her face in his hands. "Then let's rewrite the rules." "How?" "By making this real. No contract. No expiration date. Just you and me. figuring this out together. You said you don't do love. I lied. I'm terrified of it, but I'm more terrified of losing you. River searched his eyes, seeing truth there. Vulnerability, fear, and hope mixed together. Kiss me, she whispered. Not for show. For real. This kiss was different. Soft, searching. A question answered with a sigh. Damien's hands trembled as they buried in her hair. River's arms wrapped around his neck, pulling him closer, closer, never close enough. When they broke apart, both were crying. I love you, Damien said, voice breaking. I don't know how to do this, but I love you. I love you too, River whispered. We'll figure it out together. Drop a red heart in the comments if you're crying, and subscribe because you won't believe what happens next. They decided to tell the truth, not about the arrangement, that would destroy everything, but about their feelings. The next Sunday dinner, Damien stood at the head of the table. I have an announcement. Everyone quieted. Derek smirked, expecting drama. River and I are getting married. For real. Not for the inheritance, not for show. Because I love her and want to spend my life with her. Chaos erupted. Victoria gasped. Maya screamed with joy. Derek's face went purple. This is ridiculous. Derek shouted. You've known her for 2 months. And I've known you my whole life, cousin. Funny how that doesn't make you more trustworthy. Maya hugged River fiercely. I knew it. I knew you were good for him. Victoria approached more carefully. River, dear, are you sure about this? My son is complicated. River met her eyes. I know, but I love him anyway. Then welcome to the family, truly. Only Derek remained furious. This isn't over. I'll prove she's a scam. Try, Damien said coldly. But you'll find nothing, because this is real. 3 months later, they married on a beach at sunset. Small ceremony, only people who mattered. River wore simple white, flowers in her hair. Damien couldn't stop staring. You're beautiful, he whispered as they stood before the officiant. You're not so bad yourself. They exchanged vows they'd written themselves. Damien, I was taught that emotions were weaknesses, that love was illogical. Then you walked into my life and broke every rule I'd built. You taught me that strength isn't in walls, it's in letting someone in. I promise to love you, even when I don't know how. To try, even when I'm scared. To choose you every day for the rest of my life. River, I agreed to this arrangement thinking it was temporary, a means to an end. I never expected to find my home in a person. But you are my home, Damien. My safe place. My adventure. I promise to be patient when you struggle. To push you when you hide. To love you fiercely, completely, forever. When they kissed, the small crowd cheered. And for the first time in his life, Damien Cole felt complete. The bakery was everything River had dreamed. Santos and Cole Artisan Bakery occupied a corner in downtown, always busy, always filled with the smell of fresh bread. Damien had insisted on investing, not as charity, but as a business partner. River had insisted on paying him back with interest. They compromised, profit-sharing. On their first anniversary, Damien surprised her by closing the bakery early. When River arrived, the shop was filled with candles and roses. What is this? Recreating our first real moment, Damien said. When you made me bread at midnight, and I realized I was falling for you. River's eyes filled with tears. You remembered. I remember everything about you. They danced in the empty bakery, to music only they could hear. Happy anniversary, Mrs. Cole. Happy anniversary, Mr. Cole. Later, as they lay in bed, River traced patterns on Damien's chest. Do you ever regret it? How we started? Not for a second. Yes, it began as a business deal. But the best things in my life started accidentally. The company. My friendships. You. He kissed her forehead. You're the best accident that ever happened to me. I love you. I love you more. Impossible. I loved you first. Debatable. River laughed, and Damien realized this was happiness. Simple, profound, real. The boy who'd built walls had learned to build bridges instead, and the girl who'd needed saving had saved him right back. And that's how a fake relationship became the realest love story. If this touched your heart, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss our stories. Drop a comment telling us your favorite moment. Was it the first kiss? The wedding? Let us know. And share this with someone who believes in second chances and unexpected love. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the best things in life start with the craziest deals. See you in the next story.